Hi, everybody. Hello. So glad you
Hi.
could join me, Silver Star Priestess, and Heather from INDIGO Chrysalis Tarot for our True a Crime Thursday night stream. So, we have a couple of cases that a lot of people know about. And again, excuse any background noise. I live with my family, so, you might hear kitchen noises and whatnot. But we will be looking at the cases of Rita Papakee from Iowa and the Meskwaki Nation. And we will be looking at also Ashley Loring Heavy Runner's case out of the Crow Nation in the state of Montana. So I don't know how much you guys, and I'm going to be talking primarily to my fellow readers here that are with me, not only in chat, but especially here on the show, how familiar you are with either one of these cases. Are you guys?
I am not, and I've noticed that it's better when I know a little less. I know you start to read a little bit, for the background.
I
Um,
do. I totally feel you on what you're saying. It's like the limited, the best. There's like some just essential, like constructive bulletins, guideposts are good for us, and that's. I understand what you mean. So but you're not familiar with either case, right?
no.
Okay. And what about you, Heather Campbell, Silver Star Priestess? I can't talk.
Actually, cold read. I prefer to cold read.
Mm-hmm.
But the funny thing is, Heavy Runner from Montana, was he a UFC fighter?
Maybe there was one.
Or MMA fighter? Okay, because I was like, do I know this? Well,
the name seems familiar. Yeah.
Well, his name was Heavy Runner, and he was in UFC, or MMA.
Maybe
and he was from Montana, so
probably indigenous from the family. Back there. That's I bet you anything. Because
I was like, whoa. When I seen the name, I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you guys want to follow along, there are some links. Sorry for the background noise. Let's see. We can.
And I apologize ahead of time too. They've been starting their nightly drag races up and down the boulevard here. The police don't do anything. I guess they got enough going on in the city. So every now and then you might hear, going by really quick. So I apologize. And if that's, I'll try to grab the mic, shut it off.
I try to do the same. I've got a lot of street traffic, and I do have my skylight open. But if I don't, it's like I can't breathe. But if it gets too noisy, I always try to mute the background. Yeah. Well, I almost always try. Sometimes I don't get it perfectly. But so I just wanted to let you guys know that neither one of my fellow guest readers here are aware of this case, of either one of these cases. I'm very familiar with both cases. Aiden says, "Oh, I thought you were talking about RuPaul's Drag Race." Ha ha ha.
Bum bum bum. Ting.
Ting. So, good one, Aiden.
And I don't know if you saw the email, but if we have time, because I know these cases are first most there is something going on here in the Falls with a prominent law attorney who has been accused of multiple sexual assaults against young women, and the first one starting in 2009, and he's still walking around scot-free.
Boy, everybody should know.
So if
that has to be around somebody that crazy.
If we have time, at the end of the show,
absolutely,
to throw a few cards just to see if he's even going to make a court hearing, because he's prominent. And so these poor young girls are, So that just came to my attention 2 days ago.
Here we are. You must be white.
Actually, yes.
Mock surprise. What's the saying? The only good attorney is wearing steel boots at the bottom of a lake. glug, 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 glug.
Look. I always heard concrete, but
Yeah,
I'm from Western New York,
and that's
mafia town. So.
and originally northwestern Missouri, it was a pair of concrete boots, wasn't that it, Heather? Something like that. Cement shoes. That was it.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Cement shoes.
And they're starting to find more of those
more
barrels at the end of on the bottom of Nevada. So there's going to be a lot of stuff coming to, cases being reopened.
And I was going to say, I wanted to say that we should, I think, follow up with trying to, I read on the second barrel that was found. Like, what about, who was this person? Can we get hits off of that? Once they find, like, okay, a set of remains. That's something I've always liked to do. And that, not to sound morbid, but it's a challenge that I've always tried, even off camera with my notebook. And it's interesting what I've been able to pick up on my own, let alone with two other people. So 2 other very good readers.
Yeah, I think Sheila, I can't remember I know there's 2 Sheilas, but there's one Sheila that does remote viewing, and she's kind of able to go, and that's something I would like to maybe try in the future to be able to do to, try to get some more information.
That's
even if it's just a little remote viewing. So
yeah, I'd be down to learn some more stuff for sure. Definitely. How are you feeling this evening, Heather? Campbell can't talk. God, what's wrong with me?
It's just been a long month. I'll just put it that way.
I feel you. All right. So I'm very familiar with both of these cases, as I said. This to get you off and going. Let's see. Ashley's case is probably the most well-known of the 2. Rita's case takes place in Iowa. I want to go ahead and I'm going to try to look at Rita's first. Let me just bring up a picture and let's see where I can get where they had a good picture of her. And then I will share the imagery. All right. So I'm going to share so you guys can see the first case we're going to look at. Oh, no, not slides, silly. Although I do need to do that. All righty. Now this is Rita. I'm going to see her right here. Let's hope that I don't get hit with a bunch of ridiculous things. All right. She was 41 when she went missing, okay, out of Iowa, the Meswakee Nation. And that was back in, was it 2017 or before? I think it was before that. Okay, there's a really big picture of her right there. There's not a great deal. Okay. So let's see. It's saying that in this that they were searching. This is her family. 38 members of her family had spent and friends an hour searching for her. January 1st. She was reported missing January 1st, but I think she went missing a little sooner than that. And she lived with her daughter, and she had left home. Yeah, she had been missing for more than a month, and they couldn't figure out what had happened to her, where she had gone. She had problems with substance, and she was a very good mom nonetheless. And she cared about her kids. She really tried. But she did struggle with poor esteem and was in toxic relationships.
And what's your name again, Maya?
Her name is Rita Papakee.
Papakee, okay.
She's from the Meswakee Nation in Iowa. And she's been missing. I'm just trying to get the year down. I should.
Oh, okay.
Let's see if I can find that. So they increased the reward in her case to $75,000, and this was an update. She's been missing since January 2015, and Ashley, who we'll cover after this, is missing since 2017. I couldn't remember whether it was 2016 for Rita, but no, 2015 January. But she was probably missing a month or two prior to that. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. And so the family knows that she is likely not alive. But the question is on recovery. Her remains have not been found. And it would be really great, if they could finally locate her remains and place her properly to rest with family.
Well, I use my Muse Tarot. It's a feminine-based deck.
Mm-hmm.
I want to start using that more just to get a feeling for her. And she was on the way of, she was inspired. I had Ace of Voices, which is swords. So you could see with the peace, everything, and the wisdom of the owl, she was on her way to, she was determined to get clean, whatever was with rehab, because there's the drinking, there's the cups, the sadness.
Mm-hmm.
And Night of Inspiration, she was extremely inspired to do this. So at her her passing, she was trying to finally say, okay, enough is enough. She was ready to forge ahead and to get better.
Yes.
So that's, I first got up from those cards with her.
And I would get cards like, I've read on her a lot. I would get cards like that too. I can confirm that. And I've spoke with her family members.
Oh, you have? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she was determined at that time with that ace. There were the peace flags. She was at peace with herself. She knew that this is what she wanted to do. This was the idea. She had the wisdom of the owl. She had the wisdom of what didn't work in the past and wanted to take that forward because she knew that she could not stay living the way she was. She was extremely unhappy, depressed, and she was determined. That horse just flying through. She was determined. So she was on her path to recovery. Now, do they know who did it, or do they want us to find out too about that, or just?
Yes, we can look at that for sure, but mostly like right at this point would be recovering her remains, so they could be and then to know who we can get a consensus on is responsible for whatever was done to take her life. Whoever did it and whatever was done. So firstly, I want to look at her being recovered. That I know is her mother's pressing desire. And again, this is Rita Papakee of the Meswaki Nation. And always, I ask you to keep these folks and their families in your prayers, because I think that when we all kind of put a collective light, I think it loosens the dirt, so to speak. And I think sometimes, who knows, maybe a detail may loosen and come up or something that means something. So just wanting to see if she's going to be found and recovered for her family. Okay. All right. I am seeing if I'm going to go ahead. I'm getting the first cards I'm getting are Death and the Queen of Cups. And it's certainly giving me a very kind of a watery feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Or like maybe there's it could indicate for me like there's a main body of water nearby where her mains would be found, like a special lake or a creek, or an area that can have water, a great deal of it, I think, come through. That's what I'm getting from that. And I'm getting that with the Death and the Queen of Cups, I think that her actual death was happened near where she will be found, or the area in which she will be found. And I do believe that she will be found eventually one day. I did get Judgment, which made me feel like it's in connection to a male and maybe a man's land. I don't know, but I got the King of Pentacles and Judgment.
Okay.
And then I also got the Emperor and the Eight of Swords. So it makes me feel like she's held or restricted, maybe on this, again, male identified held land. Is this his father's land? Is it run in the family? Has been passed down? But her remains are on that property of some kind, of someone's father. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting. Like,
That's
I
what
feel
my
like
cards got. Mm-hmm.
you got that too.
Mm-hmm.
And
When
Heather Campbell,
Yeah.
you know that to jump right in.
Yeah, I just didn't want to interrupt you. I was waiting until you were done. No, but I can see, like, I do have the Nine of Cups, and when you said water, and it also represents, like, the partying, I feel like she was trying to protect herself
Yes.
and protect her sobriety.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the Hangman, so that's another water energy. So, bodies of water, he said, I think this might have been somebody who committed this crime, is what I'm getting, is one of her old associates that she got caught up with before, and it says money may have been involved. So I'm wondering this person has maybe some of her belongings on,
Yes.
and it says need to interview more suspects. But this is the one that stood out to me too. Like somebody overpowered her, and I
Yes.
have a feeling it was over money, maybe an old debt that she owed or something.
Yep. I would get money issues coming up with this case as well. And I think from what I remember them telling me, was that she was getting some money that was coming to her. And it would have created arguing with a man that was known to put her in the hospital.
Yeah, I can see the violence with the Prince of Swords right there.
Mm-hmm. And yeah.
Now, are you done, Heather? I don't want to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, now in the beginning when you were saying water, I did get Six of Cups, so more water. But then when you said the lake by maybe woods or something, there's the lake. there's the lake, and then there's the forest, the woods. I did get Ace of Wands, so someone is going to come forward with new information, because I know this is the Hermit, but for me, someone, a female or somebody's going to come through and light the way to show where she is. And when you said, you know, a male, and I did get the King of Wands, then of course, I don't really like this card, but he's got blood coming out of his mouth, and it's falling onto his lapel. So not a nice person whatsoever. And I do think it has to do with somebody that they know in the family, or the family knows, because there's family room.
Mm-hmm.
There's the coffin, and then there's the false person.
Well, I can tell you that one of the suspects has passed.
Oh.
One of the ones that I suspected, the one that, as I spoke to the mother, told me and confirmed what I was getting, that it was somebody that was beating the living daylights out of this poor woman. I can confirm that he has since passed, and I can confirm that there was the issue with the money.
Men gotta stop being on women, and women gotta stop. We just gotta stop being on each other.
Mm-hmm.
This is ridiculous.
It's, yeah, especially men learning to not to do this. And I'm getting, when I look at a card again, the King of Pentacles, somebody that, the money thing, somebody that's also, that's very into gratifying their senses.
Jake
Yeah.
got the King of Pentacles too. I remember somebody popping that in there. That was Jake. He got King of Pentacles too.
Oh,
Jake
wow. Good job, Jake. Interesting. I mean, like, no matter what you get, I think it's great. I want you to be able to share it if you're pulling cards here along with us. I appreciate you joining us. If you're just joining us, we're looking at 2 missing, murdered Indigenous women's cases. One of them, we've just kind of broached, is Rita Papakee's case from the Meskwaki Nation out of Iowa. And we are working on looking at who is responsible and if her remains will be located. So far, and then we'll get into Ashley and others later. But so far, we're finding a common denominator of a heavy suggestion of water, something like profound creek, lake, something, a wash, who knows, but with water.
Yeah, I have at the bottom King of Pentacles.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh wow.
And then for her, I pulled the Queen of Wands again. In a
She
different deck.
is a fire sign, by the way.
Okay. And then
So
I think there's
Queen of
something
Wands.
being withheld too, like something not fully disclosed, but I do think they're trying to build a strong case because we have the Chariot moving forward too.
Oh, good.
But yeah, she was a fire sign. That makes sense why I keep getting the Queen of Wands.
Yes, she was an Aries.
Okay, so she's an Aries.
And I did get the Knight of Inspiration, which is in the Muse. It's the female. Well, they put for a horse, but that's for fire too. So she did have, that fiery personality. She was determined.
Yeah. Now, I'm pretty sure she was an Aries, but I know it was a fire sign because it was like, I've got to make sure, when I was doing readings, it's like, and she would come up as the fire sign for me all the time. So it's like when I looked at her birth date, it was like, it's her. Yeah.
She was very protective. I can feel that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nurturing. I'm getting nurturing because just seeing the eggs, how she's protecting the snakes, protecting the eggs.
That's very true from what I understand of her from her family.
But yeah, he was no good.
Yep.
3 of Swords, nothing but pain and sorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy is the one that did it. I'm feeling like I keep getting, I don't know if it's, I got the the 5 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. So I don't know if there were two men involved, or if this is just aspects of the same individual.
I understand what you mean. Yeah.
But they were both right in the middle of that heartbreak. So I'm feeling like there might have been two or one at least male that witnessed her murder. And I pulled out my native spirit cards, and it said Song of the Wild. So she's somewhere out in fields, near woods. I know there's still feel the water as well.
Yeah,
So,
but
and then I got
it could
this.
be
Oh, I saw it, sweetheart.
like a big lake, you know. I
Right,
get you.
like, yeah. Then I
Or a
got
creek.
spirit.
Yeah.
Yes, Spirit Keeper of the West. So she might be more west of the state. I don't know if this will help or not. But then I also got Peace Pipe. So I think that this is where she's not necessarily resting in peace, but when they find her in these locations, because the Peace Pipe, from what I understand, comes apart. You can't have the male without the female. So by combining the locations, or the information they get on the locations, it's going to bring the family peace. It's going to bring everything together so that they can lay her to peace, to rest.
Okay. So you do see her remains being found also.
Mm-hmm. I could grab my pendulum too.
Would you mind?
Sure.
Let's see. And I'm going to see. I do have a timing deck. I'm going to see what I get with that.
Let me just.
The dance I got to do with slipping a long sleeve top on and off, and here off we go to the races again. Okay.
I have a fan with a remote control on it, Maya. So now when I need it, click on. When I don't need it, click off. Oh, it works wonders.
Nice. All right, let me look at timing wise for Rita Papakee. Again, she's with the Meskwaki Nation out of Iowa.
I have never heard of that nation.
Hmm.
I'll have to research.
There's a gambling casino. There's a casino. Let's see what I get time wise.
I did ask my pendulum. I said, will they find her by Cancer season, which is coming up shortly? It said no. I asked by the end of the year, it said yes. And I asked by Scorpio season, and it said yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Okay, so that would be like mid-October into early-ish November or mid-November, that window.
And I do think they will find her out in because it's Montana, they do have mountains. That makes sense why I'm seeing the mountains.
Oh, this is Iowa, but they do have lots of trees there too.
Oh, this one's Iowa. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And
but
then
as I said,
trees.
Yes.
Open land.
And I asked too. I got yeses to the same questions that Heather asked, and I said, will she be found by water? I didn't want to do, and it said yes. So, I can ask if it's a stream or something, but there is a confirmation, Maya, with water.
Good to know. Yes, Joan Barrett says, I had a challenging day, but hearing about these women makes my problem seem small now. It's really true. I think what we all need to do when we get overwhelmed is to zoom out, like they say, zoom out and imagine the earth, really small, and think about what matters. And it really does help me. I can only say that. It's like, okay.
Yeah, I asked about different types of bodies of water, streams, ponds, lakes, and the only one that I got a yes spin on was for the lake. So, somebody near a lake.
I get the card of worth the wait and in 5 to 6 months.
Yep. And I asked if it would be,
Sorry.
is this lake around a fields or like trees, and I get like a forest, and I got more like a field. So more field, less forest kind of territory.
And in these pictures, I'm just looking at the back of them, they do show water, and then at like the other end of this, it's in the shape of a hourglass. So in one half of the hourglass, there's like water, and in the other half of the hourglass, there is a grassy looking
Oh wow.
like field, almost looks like a hay bale to me, but it would be down here.
Wait a minute, let me take a look at this card.
Almost looks like corn. You know, like how the old corn stalks, once they're all dried out and yellow, left in the field. Yeah, that's what that is.
I just realized, because these are brand new cards, I thought this was just color and this was still field. No, this is water. And there's the field, there's the tree, and then there's the sun and the rainbow. So it's going to be near water and the fields right there. I thought that was just color decoration to go over the field part for the name of the title of the card, but it's water.
Oftentimes I have found the biggest and the craziest hits with just those little things that suddenly jump out at you, just like with what happened right now. And when you almost dismiss it and you go, oh my God, that's, you know, it's meaningful.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And another card came out in November. Heather Campbell was just talking about Scorpio month. Well, we know. Yeah. I didn't even know how that was possible because I moved the deck to the other side of me right here. But then I looked down and there was one more card and it said November. I swear. Do. Yeah,
because I asked my pendulum if she's going to be found before the end of August of 2022. And it said, no, will she be found within the remaining months between, September and December? And it said yes, of 22.
So I think we could say Scorpio season for sure. We're picking up.
And I've got a lot of water cards here too. Like the High Priestess, very watery.
Wow.
And then I got the Ace of Swords, so the truth, clarity. And then I got the fields, like you're talking about. The fields was the Eight of Cups, so it's water and fields.
Yeah. I used to have that deck. I need to get it again.
Because I see a field too, and I see like what I was saying was the old corn stalks, is there a cornfield near a water source of water, a stream, or don't forget to put your thumbs up, please, for me if you come in for us. That would be helpful. I feel like this is like farming land that's been in a family. Especially when I look at the, this is a very interesting deck. What is this called? And it's called by V in Family. Make these decks. Oh, Time Will Tell. That's the name of the deck I'm using. It's off Etsy. But what's really interesting about this deck is, again, the reflection of what is shown in the, in the different halves of the hourglass. And I'm shown what looks like a Gothic old farmhouse, like Iowa. And I'm shown a field with what looks like dried, like what would, especially in November, what you would have is that the hay bales and the corn stalks all bunched together, all dried out. There might be a cornfield nearby with water.
That's really,
yeah,
like, look at the picture. It looks like a farm.
Wow.
Oh,
Here, I'm going to grab Scott some farm
And-
cards
and
see
I'm
what.
yeah, grab that. Let's
When
because
you
it's
said farm, I
farmland.
was like ding, 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 ding.
And I'm gonna drop. Let's see my layout so I can show see if I can show. There we are. All right. Now, here's the Gothic farmhouse. If you look in the bottom part of this, okay, like there's the top. It's
Ooh, I love
like
those meals.
thank you. Can you see it now? It's like you're outside looking at. Now there's a great deal of reflection here.
Whoa.
There. Sorry, guys. That would have been smart.
Oh,
huh?
wow. There we go.
Another
oh my
one.
God,
Another old farmhouse. It could be an abandoned house. It could be something that's being lived in. But it could be on the property.
Interesting. So
And
are those by V Love and Crystals, that deck?
Yeah. And here's the field, you guys, that I tried to show you. See the gold, like the stalks of the corn?
There we go. Yep. Oh, wow.
And here was the water worth the wait. And there was nothing else but sand at the bottom of that. Worth the wait. And 5 to 6 months and November. And November also has that house. That's the one that has the house on it. Okay. Interesting. So again, when I look at it with my other cards, it looks like she's on property that I feel like has been in a generational farm community. I mean, property, like a family's property.
Mm-hmm. I haven't come across a farmhouse yet using his cards, but I am seeing like end of summer. I'm getting autumn, autumn, winter, united, looking outward, friends like coming together, public surface. There is a farm. There's an angel. I'm getting a star. There's clarity. There's hope. This says here success, miracles.
It would be a miracle. It really would. Yeah.
And interesting, my last card is ancestors. So
Oh,
the
yay!
ancestors are going to be helping to.
Good to
so
know.
she's going to be found. Her ancestors will make it. So
good to know, and I'll pass this information along to her mother and nephew. Make sure that they get it. But her case was one I definitely wanted to. Okay, I think we're good with Rita. Let's take a look at Ashley. Lori, heavy runner. I'm going to type her case in. My husband is sneezing. Gesundheit.
I am just going to disappear in
no
so
problem.
For a second, just to kind of cleanse off of that.
No worries. Yeah.
You can hear the candles crackle every time I do that.
I didn't.
It's so light, but I was like, I love doing it because I can hear it. Only the Palo Santo spray does it.
Oh, that's cool. I got to be careful. I got my plate of food. Watch me spray my Palo Santo into my plate of leftover dinner.
Well, that's not going to taste good, Maya.
No. I don't think I would want to eat it. No. Yeah, there we go. Whew. There we go. All right, so I'm going to get the picture of Ashley Loring, heavy runner, her case, so that you guys can see. She was a young lady. Now, let's see. She was 20 years old in 2017 when she went missing after she was last seen at a party at this guy's place. And let's see. I'll just share here. Some of you may recognize her case, especially if you follow true crime. She's probably one of the more well-known cases, and it's one reason why I chose one that was well-known and another that by people that I know that are looking for a loved one that is not well-known. Because I think when you mix those two, you help each other. So here is, can you see her?
Yeah.
Okay. That is Ashley. She was 20 years old when she went missing in 2017. And it was around, I think around, let's see, she disappeared from the Blackfoot Indian Reservation in Montana on June 5th, 2017. And that's her there after a party.
And she has crossed over.
Mm-hmm.
My last card is a crossing.
Okay.
You said a crossing.
Mm-hmm. This was my last card.
And can you voice what those are? So for those of us
This
with
is the two
horrible
of
eyesight.
pentacles, or two wands, sorry.
The last card that I got, because I have 3 others, but this was the last one on the bottom, and it crosses all 3 of them. And this is the Muse of Inspiration from the Muse deck. And Inspiration is wands. And she, to me, that automatically she has crossed. She was fiery. I think she put up a, I
She's
she
known.
put up a fight. She was a runner. She was athletic. She had that fire, that energy, that passion. And so she did, she put up a good fight. And it's interesting because there's a pyramid in the very back. And for me, for the pyramids, it's a cone of power. So her crossing felt like, and with the way that there are lines coming up from the pyramid going into the moon and the stars, for me, that was a quick, she went quickly. And I hope I'm reading that correctly, but that's what I'm feeling like. There's the lines, boom, there's the pyramid, all that energy gets pulled right up. So I'm hoping that was, represents a quick, a quick
exit.
passing. But I know why they called her heavy runner. I got the Empress, she was connected to the earth, Mother Earth. She knew of her connection to spirit, to the universe. And that fueled her passion, to be athletic, to be a runner, connected totally with Mother Earth. Then I got the Ace of Emotions, so that I'm thinking that perhaps something, again, with water, with drink, emotions, it was at a party. And then I got the Six of Emotions. And so kind of like a self-reflection, the inner child. So I'm not sure if that has to do with, what happened at the party, or if this is just continue to express that she was a very emotionally giving, loving. I mean, you can tell from the picture with that smile and everything. She's wearing blue. I mean, she was just very, very loving, very generous, very open with her emotions. Sometimes maybe, a little too much. Maybe she thought she could trust somebody. And
that was in the description of her personality. Yeah.
And then I got, of course, the Six of Cups emotion. So, she was looking for something. She's trying to reconnect with that inner child. I'm going to let that go because I want to see what you 3 have, and then maybe that can make some connection with this card here. But I'm seeing lots of waves, the emotions. There's cups. So I don't know if this has to do with water, it's just emotions or what. So
Mm.
put that.
Go ahead, Heather.
And this is in Montana, right? You're saying?
This one's in Montana, yes.
Did you say she was at a party?
On the Crow reservation, the Blackfoot Crow.
Oh, wow. There's
Sorry.
2 crows in the background.
I'm sorry, Blackfoot Reservation. My brain's taking a nap. The Blackfoot Reservation.
Okay. I was going to say, well, there's 2 crows in this, but yeah, it's showing the party, the drinking. And I don't know if she went off to like look for something or she was like looking for something is kind of what I'm getting. Because I'm getting the Knight, the Moon. This is the Queen of Swords. Like I feel like she had healthy boundaries. She was very intellectual. She was very smart. I feel like a wisdom coming from her.
Yes. Yeah. And she
Expansive,
was wanting
smart.
Yeah, she was wanting to help with the efforts for missing and murdered Indigenous women and running, to bring awareness to the cause and everything. And then to go missing and become one herself. Man.
She was very emotionally stable. She could see things from a perspective that people couldn't, because I'm getting the Jupiter energy with the King of Cups. And then being a water sign too, emotional stability. And then I got the Star. So she was a healer.
Yeah.
She definitely had like healing abilities. Very caring, compassionate. I don't know if sunflowers were significant to her. I don't know why that's coming up, but and then she was building like her legacy. That's weird. Like you said, she was working on all that stuff to help other women. Climbing the ladder of success. Like I'm seeing the ladder, like climbing up in this too.
Yeah, I mean, she was really motivated. She would have gone far. Her sister Kim, that is, continues to try to find her, is really the one that's doing it all. I'm sure she's completely overwhelmed, but she's determined to find her sister. And it would just be so good. They have, from what I can understand, the family has a pretty good idea about what may have went down. But it is, again, a matter of recovery and them finding her. I'm getting the Magician about her being found and the Queen. So I feel like there's a female that is going to talk or somehow give a tip, maybe.
And you said they have a good idea who did this, right? They think they know who did it?
Yeah, they've got some persons of interest for sure.
I'm wondering if she had a problem with this individual, that this person like actually like stabbed her in the back, like it was an old acquaintance or something.
That could well be, because apparently she was at this white dude's place. His name was Sam McDonald, and he was a lot older, and a lot of the kids would come and party because what was there. And older people too. And Ashley was hanging out with older people that did drugs. And this was part of something that she was kind of experimenting with. And I think she would have put down eventually and been able, led a great life and been wonderful to help. But sadly, someone took her life before she could, become even more of an asset to her community.
And you said there's an older man, like if it's an older
there's
man.
There's a couple older men.
An older man with a knife in his back, like a physical relationship.
Yeah.
King of Swords, Heather, I just got. You said she was stabbed in the back. There's the 10 of Swords.
Yeah, because this one's got wounds in the back, knives in the back, and then this one, the guy's got a knife behind his back.
Yeah, and you can see in your one that he's like letting someone's guard be down, thinking that he's friendly, coming to them like with the actors of being friendly.
She trusted this person. She looked up to them. It's the Hierophant.
Definitely.
Yeah, I get the Fool, you know, not being aware you're in danger. Take, you know, you and someone taking advantage of that, of your naivete, your trust. Yeah, Ace of Swords. I do believe that she will be. Yeah, I do believe she will be found. Ace of Swords, because it's clarity that's going to be coming, and pretty soon, I think. Because the cards are kind of like.
Was she stabbed? Oh, they haven't found her. They haven't found her, right?
They think that they have found bits and pieces. They think they found bits and pieces of possible items of clothing, but police may have lost those. So, you know.
They might find the murder weapon.
A knife?
I'm wondering because this is all showing me all knives. Every card I've pulled has been a knife.
I agree with you. It's a common denominator that can't be ignored. And oh my goodness, duh, I pulled the Ace of Swords.
Yeah.
And next to the Fool.
If I keep pulling swords, 6 of Swords.
I'm going to mute my mic as I drink my water. I don't think anybody wants to hear this. But you guys go ahead and say what you're getting.
Yeah, I got another male card, and it's Knight of Cups. So this was somebody who she did feel she could trust. He presented himself as emotional, kind, and caring, and then when he got her alone, she ended up seeing who the real person was behind that.
Yeah, and I got the Hanged one. So that shows the delay and the need to look at this from a different perspective than they have. And the Hierophant. Traditional, you know.
Oh.
I got the Hierophant too, yeah.
Did you see those fly out?
What you got? The Ace of Swords? Oh my God, you got
Swords and the Son of Swords.
Wow.
It's all been swords, and those flew.
It's all about clarity and bits and pieces coming together that bring clarity. Sounds like her case will get active again. Maybe initiated by a woman. I see kicking off some kind of maybe, and that could be even her sister Kim, for all I know. But I think.
Gosh, you're kidding me.
What are you getting now?
7 of
I got the Ace of Pentacles. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
And then the Queen of Swords.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I got the 7 of Inspiration, and I think when you said her sister, she is pushing aside the veils, and that light's coming through. So she's going to be the one that's going to be able to, you know, cut through all the bullshit. Excuse me.
Yeah, no, that's
and that light is going to be. So yeah, she's pushing onwards instead of being closed in and them silencing her or silencing somebody. They're going to hold off and they're going to keep their stance, and they're going to come forward with information.
I get something similar with the fact that I think it's going to get worked out, because I'm being shown assault with the 5 of Wands for sure, some kind of physical assault taking place, and the Temperance. So I think when they find her, somehow they're going to be able to, even though, you know, whatever state that may be now, it's been some years, I think that they're going to be able to maybe circumstantially come to terms with what they think happened or what took place, because the Temperance there is like every little details, like details falling into place, and it centers around an argument or a fight. or somebody starting one.
Okay, I asked my pendulum if she was going to be found this year. I got a no. But when I asked by the end of next year, 2023, I started getting a spin. So she'll either be found, or that's when information will finally start coming through that's going to lead to her being found.
And Tracy Ralph feels like it also may have been more than one person. Yeah, I think there were witness people there that saw somebody have a meltdown or knew that it happened. Somebody had a meltdown toward her, did something toward her.
Yeah.
I do too. I think that there's a couple other people.
Because you said that, and I have the 3 of Pentacles on the bottom.
So we're getting that number 3.
Yep, there's the Tower. There's the Lovers.
Because there are a pair of
changing.
lovers. There are a pair of lovers that are part of the suspicious people.
And the Hierophant again. So that's the second time I gained Hierophant.
And I had the Hierophant.
And so did Heather. I think, Heather, you had the Hierophant too, right?
I can't remember. Oh. I pulled so many cards I don't remember.
So it's someone, that she looked up to that may have been somebody maybe even significant in the community, or might have been, respected in the community.
Sorry. Those flipped at the thing. So yeah, the broken heart.
The main thing is, I think, between the males concerned would be which male was it? Was it the one that had a lover, or was it the one that did not? Because she was involved with seeing someone who was in an on again, off again relationship that was really intense with another person, and there was some animosity between the two of them. But I don't know that this man's lover did it, or did he do it, or did Sam do it, or who did this? Who is responsible? But I do think that these 3 core people know.
Mm-hmm.
And I do see the truth coming out about a fight. Sorry, see, now I'm losing my voice. Let me get a drink of water.
Yeah, I got the Star. I got the Moon, and then I got the 5 of Swords. Again, another stab. There's the knife in the hand. There was someone she tried, and that stabbing keeps coming back. The knife, the stab in the back.
I see what you mean.
But there's going to be information coming out, so there is hope. I had the Star card.
Yeah, I've got the 7 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups. It makes me feel like the connection is to the lovers, to the 2 people that were in a relationship at the time that she was kind of on the periphery of.
Yeah.
That's what I'm being shown here.
I just reshuffled, and again, 5 of Swords. There's the backstabbing again. 10 of Cups. So this was definitely an emotional connection with this person, overflowing. They brought all these beautiful feelings. There was a love, definitely. And I got again the Hierophant. So it was somebody that she looked up to, that she thought she could trust. That
I think he was married at the time.
Was he married? Because I pulled a card that said married.
Yeah. The lovers, he and the person he was with, I believe that it was said that they were married. At least at one time, there was that on and off kind of intensity.
Where is it?
And I know that they have both done time, have records.
Let's see.
Yeah,
I got husband and wife. So this is the husband and wife card.
So it's looking like they are the ones that were the initiators of whatever went down badly for her.
And then toxic addictions, indulgence, temptations.
That's totally them, their
And
lifestyle.
then love letter, missing someone far away. But I'm feeling like more like there was something.
Well, one of them went away for some time.
Okay.
Yeah. The male went away for some probably substance or drugs possession or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but something other than anything to do with this case.
Yeah. And okay, that makes sense. And then communication. I'm wondering if there's some sort of like communication, like with cell phones and.
Yeah, I think that it's like the two of them. From what the last thing that I read about was that while this person, this husband, shall we say, of this person, was in lockup for an unrelated situation, they had said certain things concerning the lack of guilt or thereof, more like the guilt of their wife. But they were each pointing kind of the finger at each other. And she didn't anticipate him doing this, which was very telling. And that was the last kind of bit I knew. And I thought, And he did his time. And I think that they probably got back together and went back to Washington. That's a state that they were known to be in last.
Washington. Oh, the state of Washington. Okay. So when you said Washington, I was thinking, oh, DC, because I had like a court, something with the. Oh no, actually, this makes sense. Okay, I got marriage. Okay. Then I got courtship. So this might have been the original husband and wife, but then he started dating and courting her
during a rocky patch. Yeah,
which caused a lot of concern.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Then there was the journey, the pathway, and then the change. So I'm thinking that was the journey to go to, I don't know. The journey and the change. They're both vehicles. They're both moving. They're both transportation. So I'm wondering if they took her to some place that's in the woods. There's a pathway. And then that changed and they went to Washington. So I'm trying to figure out how those two end, bookend each other. But those first three right up there, marriage, courtship, and then the concern. People are like, this isn't good, which led to a journey pathway.
Yeah, they left the state after both of them.
So the change could have been her moving on to the journey, the pathway, and then the change. That
Very
could be
true.
that too.
Tracy Ralph says, I really feel like he may have been related to her. I don't know. I do know the name of the person, and you can find that too if you look hard, not even too hard. But I don't know that he was. I can't answer that.
Maybe related in the way of not necessarily blood relation, but maybe clan. I don't know how different indigenous groups, North America,
I don't think this guy was, but I could be wrong.
And the last card I got was imprisonment. So either that's going to be for them, or this was, talking about the people that they were in prison. But the imprisonment came up on the bottom of the deck.
Good. Let's see. So it looks like she'll be found. And I guess the question would be, will those responsible, and you're seeing that those responsible with your deck will be dealt with.
Now, is there the guy that they suspect, does he have money?
No.
Or influence? No? Okay.
They may have one of the guys that might know that was the white dude whose property that people, would come and get party with him. He might know something, but the only thing that he would have would be the land. That is probably his land, but that doesn't mean that she's on his land. She could be on somebody else's family farm property nearby,
Tracy Ralph said, I feel like she knew something and they were worried she would tell.
That's
They might
possible.
she might have caught on something that they were doing. They might have been stealing. They might
Yeah,
have been
they had records for that.
So
Mm-hmm.
she might have found out something and they said, well, the only way we're going to be able to, is to quiet her too.
I
Yeah.
think there was raging jealousy for sure.
If you look at that,
Ooh.
being kicked off of a mountainside,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hate that card. Oh, that's awful.
overpowered. And then I did get justice. I got the 7 of Wands, so that I feel like that is her sister. She's going to continue to fight for her. Because I got the Queen of Swords right after that. And then I got the Prince of Swords with the Ace of Swords.
Oh, there you go. They're going right after him. They're going to get him.
Yep. So then it looks like it's not going to be, it looks like it's going to be one of those things where we're all going to find out. We will get a news flash.
Was any of them involved? Were any of the ones that they thought were involved, did any of them have any bad health, like diabetes?
It wouldn't surprise me if the man did. Yeah. The man was older that she was having the affair with. Or
oh my goodness, no wonder. Look at the guys. This is, the concern card. It's an older man. He's got white hair.
Mm-hmm. And she was running with kind of, people a bit older than herself.
Yep. And the mature woman probably did not like that.
No.
Like around her age. And then unexpected income. So, yeah, money's been exchanged. She knew what they were doing. She got, unfortunately, caught up in it. And they couldn't trust her to keep quiet. Or she didn't want to keep quiet. That could have been it too.
And then I got spontaneous behavior or mental illness contributed into it. Definitely they had to have been mentally ill. And then, like you said, was the gal in prison, or he just got out of prison?
I think from what I understood, they both have done time, for probably more petty or drug crime related stuff, I think.
Yeah, it says, I think this is just, I'm not so keen on the words, but it says killer may be currently in prison for another crime.
Yep, that would be about right.
And I got the imprisonment card too.
Yep.
And the hands coming through the bars.
So let's just see. I'm going to ask, will they be able to formally say what they think happened to her and put the guilty away? All the guilty.
Oh, that's perfect for the Kipper.
Yes. Where's that Kipper deck?
Throw me a Kipper.
Yes, please remember to put a thumbs up, and thanks ahead for any and all super chats. You can do that with my account now. There's a little, I think it's a little heart with the $sign.
Yep. Yes. Okay. Yep. House. For me, that could also be like the judgment house. Adjudication. There's a man and a woman in front of the judge.
Wow.
There's going to be an official person involved, and he's an older guy.
Looks like maybe detective or something.
Detective, and they're going to be brought up on her on charges of her murder. There's the coffin. Wow. So and then courtship. So yeah, they're definitely and I got at the bottom again, family room. So it's somebody the family knows.
Mm-hmm. Good. Well, that's great. Now, Heather, you were talking about somebody's case, right? That you wanted to us to look at.
Are we done with Ashley
Yeah.
then? Okay.
Yeah, I think that we answered, the main concerns about her being somebody that would be found, and those responsible figured out, held to account. Looks like we've got some kind of additional justice coming for her, which is great.
Okay, yeah, I have it right here. I don't know if anybody wanted to do a spritz, a sip, but like a.
Yes, I'm going to reset. Mm-hmm.
Me
Gotta
too.
find my spray.
There we go.
Yeah. I live near the Fatima Shrine in
Oh, nice.
near Lewiston, and I can go there and get bottles of water
Oh.
from Fatima.
Nice.
So,
Lucky.
on my cards. Yeah, you can get them online too. But yeah, I love having
That is nice.
her energy there. Okay.
Smart.
All righty.
So what's the name that I can type in?
Okay, his name is here.
Okay.
Come on. All right. Where's the first name though? Okay, Nicholas.
Okay.
Capital D, comma, Angelos.
Let's see. Yeah. I am never.
So it says here, Nicholas D'Angelo's 2009 rape case, again charged in November 2020. 12 rape charges later, 4 victims, 1 including a minor, and he's still walking free and no trial dates. Flynn's office said D'Angelo met one of the women through an online dating website in the fall of 2016. So this is after the 2009. After picking her up at home, D'Angelo allegedly pulled over somewhere in Niagara Falls, locked the vehicle, and forced the woman to have sex with him. Flynn's office, who is the prosecutor, also said D'Angelo used forcible compulsion to get a woman to have sexual contact with him in his Lockport law office on October 26, 2018. And what was really said here, that somebody was writing down what was going on in the courtroom. They said the dark-haired D'Angelo sat in the nearly empty courtroom Thursday with his parents and smiled and laughed, and at times while the lawyers and judge discussed his case. His 14-year-old accuser sat stiffly and at times in tears with her parents. So he's laughing, having a good time with his parents, and she's over there. Yeah.
Ugh.
And I have to, reiterate, these are alleged. Nothing has been proven, but there are up to now at least, 14, not 14, 12 charges that women, have filed.
And Nicholas D'Angelo's, can you let them know who he is for people that just coming in?
He is a lawyer, okay, let's see. Let me find out exactly. He is a city court judge.